Good afternoon, everyone. We are the last discussants for this semester. I am Karen Faiti Santiago, the first discussant, and our topic for today is about linguistic borrowing and language contact. Language in a speech community acts like a bridge. It connects peoples, preserves our history and cultures, and also adapts to the changes in this world. Speech communities can be formed by geography, social ties, or even shared experiences. Language is always dynamic. It means they are always changing, affected by the trade, travel, migration, or even wars and conflict. Let me give you an example. After the Gulf War in Iraq, many English words started being used by the local people. This happened because American soldiers, reporters, and journalists were present in the country. Since they often spoke in English, the locals picked up the some of their words and added them to their own language. In short, the war created a situation where two communities met and that led to borrowing of English into the Iraq language. So, for further explanation, let's now discuss the linguistic borrowing and language contact.
Linguistic borrowing. For Maui, borrowing refers to the adaptive words that are derived by phonological or morphological phonotactics of a language in a way that suit the language system. So meaning, the borrowed words is changed or adjusted a little bit to make it sound natural in their own language. So next, Rendon. For Rendon, only include the borrowing of verbal linguistic elements, but it also includes non-verbal elements of communication such as gesture, gazes, and movements, since language use is not separable from movements between the speaker and the address, such as emblem for okay. So, for Maui, the linguistic is not just in a verbal way, but it is also included a non-verbal way. So there are five types of language borrowing. Number one, loan word. The word and the meaning are borrowed. So this happens when a word is borrowed directly from another language. Both the word and its meaning are taken. So in this example, the English word pajamas comes from Hindi where it refers to loose clothing for sleeping. English kept both the form and the meaning. So next. 2. Loan translation. It is a literal word-for-word translation of both parts of the lending compound. So, a phrase or compound word is translated literally part by part into another language. So, in this example, the Spanish phrase El momento de la verdad became the English or translated in English which the moment of truth. Each word was translated directly. Number 3. Loan rendition. The translation vaguely captures the original meaning. So, this happens when a word or phrase from another language is translated but not perfectly. The meaning is close but not exact. For example, translating refrigerator as icebox in Chinese gives a similar idea but not the precise term. Next, loan blend is composed or borrowed word from the different language. This type mix parts from different languages to form one word. For example, the word monolingual has a Greek prefix and a Latin word. So comes from Greek mono meaning one and Latin lingua meaning tongue or language. It's a blend of borrowed pieces. Next, 5. Loan shifts, also known as semantic loan, is a change in the meaning of a word under the influence of another language. So, it is also called asemantic loan. This happens when an existing word in one language changes its meaning because of influence from another language. So, for example, the English word Superman took its meaning from the German word Urbemensch, which refers or meaning a person with outstanding powers.
Language Language contact is something that happens all around us, even if we don't always notice it. In fact, it happens every day here in the Philippines when we mix English, Filipino, or other local languages in our conversations. So now, let's understand what language contact really means, why it happens, and what forms it can take. So, what is language contact? Language contact happens when people who speak different languages interact or communicate with each other. This contact can happen through trade, migration, colonization, education, or even through social media. When this happens, the language influence each other. People may start exchanging words, grammar, or pronunciation. Over time, this can even lead to the creation of the new way of speaking. According to our linguist, Stephen Grumley, language contact is one of the major factors in language change. This means that when language come into contact, they evolve. They gain new words and new ways of expressing ideas. For example, in the Philippines, we often mix English with Filipino. We say things like text mo ako later, nagpa-load ako, or cancel muna tayo. This is simple but a clear sign that English and Tagalog are in contact with each other. Now you might ask, why does language contact happen? It usually happens when two communities meet and need to communicate with each other but don't share a common language or common characteristics of language. So, to make understanding possible, people find a creative ways to bridge the gap. They might start borrowing words, switching between languages, or even creating a new language altogether. So now, we have the two classifications of language contact.
There are two classifications of language contact. Number one, direct contact. The speakers of one language turn up in the midst of speaker of another due to certain reasons such as invasion or immigration. So this happens when people who speak different language meet and interact to face. It often occurs because of events like invasion, trade, or immigration. For example, when English speakers moved to North America, they came into direct contact with Native American language, leading to borrowing of words and expressions. Next, indirect contact. It is resulted from mediation of literature or nowadays through new tech through new technologies such as TV, radio, internet, etc. So this occurs when the language influence each other without the speakers meeting in person. Instead, the contact happens through books, media, or technology, like learning new English words from movies, TV, or the internet.
Now, let's talk about the five types of language contact. I know that you already know what pidgin is because other discussants already explained it to us. A pidgin is a small or mixed language that forms when people who speak different languages need a way to talk to each other. A pidgin is not a complete language, it's just a practical tool for communication. People create it by mixing words and grammar from several languages but keeping it very simple so everyone can understand. Pidgin usually has few words or limited vocabulary, simple grammar rules, and no native speakers. For example, Nino sabi talk good English, meaning I don't know how to speak English well. We often use this when we are in a different country. When we are not familiar with their language, we often use simple words from their country and mix it with English so that they can understand us. Another example is that if you already encountered a Chinese here in the Philippines, they are trying to speak with us or communicate with us using our language, using Filipino language, but they aren't fluent. So they pick up some of Filipino words so we can understand them. So that's how Pidgin works. So the second one is Creole. Creole means is a complete and fully developed language that originally came from Pidgin. Over time, if Filipino begin to use a Pidgin more often and children grow up learning it as their first language, that Pidgin evolves into a Creole. When that happens, it becomes more stable, richer in vocabulary, and has proper grammar rules, just like the other natural languages. For example, ano you will may kain pa that apple after it may hulog na on the floor? So in English, what? You will still eat that apple after it already fell on the floor? So that example shows how Creole combine language and in a natural and fluent way. It sounds normal to those who speak it, showing that Creoles are not just mixed language anymore, but a real living language with its own structure and style. The third type of language contact is code switching. Code switching happens when a person switches between two or more languages while speaking. This can occur in a single sentence, between sentences, or during a whole conversation. People often do this naturally, especially in countries where many languages are spoken, just like here in the Philippines. For example, magla-lunch na tayo, let's go sa canteen. People use it for many reasons, sometimes to express themselves better, to fit socially, or to emphasize a point, or to show respect or formality. Another example is that a student might use English language when talking to a teacher, but switch to Tagalog when chatting with friends. So, in multilingual societies, code switching is a normal and intelligent behavior. It shows that the speaker has strong control over multiple languages and can easily adjust their speech to match different situations. So, code switching shows flexibility and communication. Number four is borrowing. Borrowing means taking words from another language and using them as part of their own. This usually happens when people need a word for something new or when culture mix and share ideas. For example, Filipino use kutsara and tenedor from Spanish and jeepney from English. So borrowing, it helps languages grow and makes it easier for people to talk about new things or experiences. So that's how borrowing works. The last type is the language shift. Language shifts happen when people stop using their first language and begins to speak another language more often. This usually occurs over time and across generations. For example, children may grow up speaking the new language more often than the one their parents used. There are many reasons why language shift happens. It can be caused by migration, education, work, or media influence. For instance, when people move to a new country or city, they often learn and use the dominant language to communicate, to find jobs, or to fit in. So here in the Philippines, some indigenous communities have shifted from their native languages to Tagalog or English because there are the main languages used in the schools, in governments, and in media. However, this shift can result in language loss, meaning fewer people speak the original language. If this continues, the old language may eventually disappear, along with the culture and traditions connected to it. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you will have learned something from me and from my partner, Jovet Hidor. So that's all, everyone. Thank you.